Hi, my name is CarlyPomeroy, and today I'm going to talk to you about my research on whether or not latitudinal variation in light regime affects sapling architecture. I just recently graduated as an undergraduate researcher from UCLA, and I worked on this project with the help of the Craft Lab. So I want to start out with talking about how light regime varies with latitude. As you can see in this picture on the left, in the tropics, light comes at a 90-degree angle. And in boreal forests on the right here, you can see that there's a lot more lateral light available in the understory, which greatly affects sapling growth habits. And so as such, there's a very high incident angle in the tropics and a low incident angle in boreal forests. Additionally, light is available more consistently year round at the equator, and it's a lot more variable across seasons at higher latitudes. And even within a single day, there's a lot more light availability in the tropics than in higher latitudes as well. And so taking a look at this observation made us curious about how this light availability can affect sapling architecture. So if light regimes are different, this must affect understory plants such as saplings heavily. And plant architecture changes according to light interception efficiency. So this led us to wonder how the light regime affects these understory plants. As such, with this question, we took a look at the Sunfleck model, which was published in 1985 by Terborg. And he kind of took a look at whether, since there's a greater diversity of light habitats in the tropics compared to boreal forests, and the fact that there's a higher range of incident angles in the understory there. So we considered the different types of saplings that there are. There's two main growth strategies. One is that plants choose to grow very, very tall and they don't invest much into crown building. And then another growth strategy is to invest a lot in building up a very big crown. And to, it's called a pessimistic strategy because the plant doesn't divert a lot of energy into growing nice and tall. So you can see that in the tropics, trees are broad and shallow and less shade tolerant as well. So the different light regimes that have selected for these different plant shapes. All right, this led us to predict that sapling architecture and allometry should change with latitude. We hypothesized that plant architecture and allometry are related to light, which led us to this prediction. And we were interested in this because we wanted to dive into understanding forest regeneration dynamics, which is very important to better understand these tropical forests. All right, so to test this, we looked at 565 sampling species from 10 different sites globally. We used plant architecture data from a database called the BAD, which is a biomass and allometry database. And the variables we looked at were crown depth, width, and sapling height. And we tested this by looking at variation in sapling architecture by latitude. Okay, so we found that there were latitudinal effects on sapling architecture. Crown relative thickness increases significantly with latitude, and plants in higher latitudes rely on deeper crowns to intercept light at lower incidence angles. We found a significant relationship for all three of these different ratios we took a look at with crown depth to height ratio. And we found that different sizes in different sites, so we had to use ratios as opposed to just using height values. And yeah, we found that there was a quadratic relationship between all of these different latitude to width to depth ratios. All right, so with this research, we found that there is in fact a latitudinal sapling gradient and that there's a great diversity in light incidence angles available, which can explain large diversity of sapling growth strategies in the tropics, because more light incidence angles means more light habitats and more complexity, which allows for more niches, which allows for more species, because they need different growth strategies in order to fill these different niches. So hopefully moving forward, we'd like to take a look at environmental variables because they may affect light regimes inside forests, such as topography or forest dynamics. And we're also hoping to find more mid-latitude sites as opposed to the data we already had with the BAD database, as well as our two new data sets. So I want to thank the Craft Lab for all their support, and my PI, Marcel Vaz, and my co-researcher, Zia Louis. And I'd also like to thank everyone who contributed to the BAD database. It was very helpful. Thanks for listening.